perfect time to wear this shirt. You have no idea. As always, hit that like button. The like button is just as good as sharing it with a friend. The more likes we get, the more it spreads, and we can stop all of this, I don't know what to call it, but the videos aren't reaching as many people as some people think they should be. I just think I need to work harder. So either way, please like the video. But let's just get right into it. You already know about the Sold Not for Sale store. Please hit that store up. I just want to get right into this because this is a sad turn of events. New York City to track residents' food purchases and place caps on meat served by public institutions. Okay, so let's just go down here. I'm going to read this first part for you. Oh, that's interesting. So New York City will begin tracking the carbon footprint of household food consumption and putting caps on how much red meat can be served in public institutions as part of a sweeping initiative to achieve 33% reduction in carbon emissions by, guess, 2030. That sounds very familiar. Sounds very, very familiar. There was an article that was put out. It was called 8 Predictions That Will Happen by 2030. It was written by a woman named Ida, an agenda contributor to the World Economic Forum. I was searching for that article on their website because that's where I first saw it. It's gone. It's completely gone. But the internet doesn't play around. So somebody actually just kind of rewrote it or copy and pasted it into their medium. So I'm just going to go right to what, actually this kind of helps. There's a global price on carbon. That's a thing this is linked to. But let's just go right to this, number 5. We are eating much less meat. Now this person's kind of putting their spin on it and everything, but there we go. But apparently serious about eating bugs. So yeah, regardless of what people think, also bugs are gross. So this guy actually didn't copy and paste it. He just kind of wrote his own version. But this was number 5 in the predictions they had that would happen by 2030. That we'd be eating that they framed it as meat would become a treat and less of a staple in our diet by 2030. And this is going right along with that. Now I'm just gonna read this final part here, because I'm just going to show you a video after of the mayor actually talking about this. Mayor Eric Adams, as you can see there, and representatives of the mayor's office and of food policy and mayor's office of climate and environmental justice announced the new programs last month at Brooklyn Culinary Center, run by NYC Health and Hospitals, the city's public health system, just before Earth Day. Let's just go right to that video. It explains everything. Here's the video. Let's get into it, guys.
I'm Kate McKenzie, Executive Director of the Mayor's Office of Food Policy. I am so excited to be here with you for a historic and significant announcement because we're addressing for the first time the connection between our food system and our climate crisis. Since New York City is a food mecca with hundreds of diverse restaurants, retailers, and institutional food providers, like whom we're hosted by today, it makes sense that we take bold steps to lead cities nationwide in this effort. With Mayor Adams' leadership, New York City is reaffirming its commitment to reducing consumption-based emissions of greenhouse gases through our food, including innovative actions, policies, and initiatives. Today's announcements highlight how significantly what we put on our plate really impacts our climate and our environment. Mayor Adams has brought a fine resolution to the points of connecting health and climate in our city. I'm thrilled to introduce Mayor Eric Adams.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And really want to thank Dr. Katz and the entire team here, learning that we are producing and distributing 15,000 meals a day to the patient. You stop at a hospital and you visit your loved one and you see the food inside the room, but we don't realize the process and how much goes through this. And I was asking, how did we respond during COVID? And we kept the food flowing because a pandemic does not stop a patient's needs and desire to be fed nutritional food. This is a significant moment, and we're going to look back on what we're doing here in New York and what we're doing in London and how this impacts the way we have been thinking. And it also is going to be in an uncomfortable moment for many. It is easy to talk about emissions that are coming from vehicles and how it impacts our carbon footprint. It is easy to talk about the emissions that's coming from buildings and how it impacts our environment, but we now have to talk about beef. And I don't know if people are really ready for this conversation. And we can't have a level of hypocrisy where we want to ensure that we do local laws to address the emissions that's come from fossil fuel, but not willing to have a real conversation on what food is doing to us. And I recall during my campaign for mayor, when we first started engaging in the behavioral issues that's attached to unhealthy food, there was a lot of pushback. There was a lot of people who did not want to look at the science. And now more and more we're discovering how food that is nutritionally void has a major impact on the health of a person's mental state. And we know the story, what it has done for us physically, and that is why we're here in the hospital talking about the role that food plays on our physical well-being. But now we're at a new level, and this conversation is a very significant one. So, Kate, I want to thank you and all those who are part of this initiative as we look at how food impacts everything. It impacts our physical health, our mental health, our way of life. And today we are saying to New Yorkers and really to the globe that it impacts our planet. I always say we have two mothers. One gives birth to us, the other sustains us, and we have been destroying the one that sustains us based on the food that we have been consuming. I'm excited to announce that for the first time in our city's history, we're measuring just how much of an impact our food choices have on our emissions. First time we're doing this. We worked with the C40 Cities Climate Leadership Group, and I want to take my hat off to a great corporate partner, American Express and EcoData Lab, to put this new inventory together. And we're grateful for their partnership. And again, as I mentioned, my colleague across the pond, Mayor Khan, and the partnership that New York and London are bringing together to lead on climate from both sides of the Atlantic. The new integrated emission inventory we're unveiling today show that food is the third biggest source of cities' emissions, right after buildings and transportation. Third, right after buildings and transportation. 1 in every 5 metric tons of carbon dioxide our city emits comes from food. But all food is not created equal. The vast majority of food that is contributing to our emission crisis lies in meat and dairy products. We already know that a plant-powered diet is better for your physical and mental health, and I am living proof of that. But the reality is that thanks to this new inventory, we're finding out it is better for the planet.
This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. I can't believe it. I actually can't believe it. And especially him speaking to this. I mean, he's obviously a very weak man to actually allow this in his state, to actually allow something like this to happen. He's literally parroting out exactly what the World Economic Forum has been talking about. That article that was written years ago, talking about what's going to happen in 2030, the predictions, and how meat's going to become less of a staple, how we're going to have to move away from it. Now he's talking about actually tracking people's purchases. The state of New York is talking about it in general. I can't believe that these people who are behind him are actually behind him on this. For him to even to say that a plant-based diet is better, that's not proven across the board. I was a vegan at one point for 2 years, and I came out of it with massive deficiencies. And a lot of people who are vegan would say that I didn't do it right. Well, I can tell you that if you're just making minimum wage like I was, you don't have the ability to do it right. You don't have the resources to buy as much as you need. So what's going to happen to the majority of people who are forced onto this type of diet? They're not going to be able to do it properly, and they're going to end up having deficiencies. And one of the things that happened to me when I was deficient in my B vitamins, in my iron, is I was weak. I was lethargic. I was tired. I could have been easily pushed over. I could have been easily led about in the right situation. My mind was foggy. There's a reason that they're doing this to New Yorkers. There's a reason that they're going to try and do this to a lot of people in the world. This is absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe this. And we're not even partway. This is a 25-minute video. I didn't even realize. I thought this was like a quick video just on a website. But yeah, it's very sad to see. Let's just move on here a little bit to see what's actually going on. Maybe I'll play some of the video after. I just wanted to see this article. Let's move over to this article again. So this one seems a little more informative. The city has already produced emissions data, energy uses. Okay. Google founded, Smart City, Jesus. Google, who founded Smart City subsidiary Sidewalk Labs, celebrated the expanded data collection, forging a new standard for what cities have to do. Jesus Christ. So this is just his quote that he just said, how it's the third biggest thing. So now they're going to start attacking food. And now you're going to become the bad person if you want to eat meat. You're going to become the dumb person. Oh, look how dumb and selfish that person is. They go to the grocery store and buy meat. And then when they realize that they can't force people into a vegan lifestyle, they're just going to stop giving it to us. I know multiple grocery stores that just stopped having liver. And I was like, where's the liver? It's so nutrient dense. It helps people feel so alive when you eat liver. And it was just gone. This is ridiculous. Just the fact that he thinks that, or he's just saying a plant-based diet is more power, a plant-powered diet is, sorry, I should go up where you guys can see it. My apologies. We already know a plant-powered diet is better for your physical and mental health. That's not true. I'm living proof of that. You're an old man. You couldn't fight. You couldn't do anything right now. You can all you can do is take orders from some shadow entity. I'm sorry. Let me just stick to facts here. Sorry. Different meats have different greenhouse gases. All land is not created equal. This is crazy. I can't believe this is happening in New York. I can't believe this is happening in the United States. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. It's so crazy. Man. Sadly, there are a percentage of the populace that, for whatever reason, have decided that animals in the ecosystem are bad and that the way to a healthier planet is to give up that animal impact. Many of us have proven there is a ecological benefit to having animal impact in the equation. I thought cow farts were a problem. We start getting rid of the cows, we start eating them. Isn't that good? I don't understand. This is crazy. And it's like, what's going to happen next? They started destroying eggs left and right. Are they going to start destroying cows? We're just going to see farms just, 50 cows got slaughtered. No idea why. Like, is it going to be one of those things again? Jeez, man. This is just crazy. Huh. Wow. Okay. I'm going to find out more about the situation, but just the fact that, right now they want to start tracking people's food purchases and put a cap on meat is crazy. And it's exactly what I was talking about with the central bank digital currencies. The information I found out that they're going to be programmable, because once they get that in place, and New York also announced that they're going to have like robot police officers, which is just like, are you serious? This is just wild. This is wild information right now. And it all goes back to what the World Economic Forum predicted. And again, I love that they took it off their website, because they're so close to all of this actually coming into play. They're so close that we're going to be eating much less meat. They're so close to doing all this. All products have become services. I'll just walk through each one. There's a global price on carbon. That's what's going to happen. You want meat, you got to pay more. U.S. dominance is over. We now have a handful of global powers. Like that's in play right now, completely. Farewell hospitals, say hello to homespittals. It'll basically be like, you get serviced at home, basically. But it's not like a nurse comes in. It's like you do it yourself kind of thing. Oh my God. Today's Syrian refugees are 2030 CEOs. Jeez. I mean, that's not a big problem. Just, it's crazy. It's like, what happened to the actual Americans? like what happened to the Americans? What happened to Canadians? What happened? Like, why is it just those people? Oh man, the values that built the West have been tested to the breaking point. That's 100% true. They're testing our values like crazy. They've been testing our values. By 2030, we'll be ready to move humans towards the red planet. Blah, blah, blah. Man. And again, this isn't the exact article. This person kind of just rewrote it in their own words. I don't know why they would do that. Because now the article's gone. They erased it from their website, and now you can't find it anywhere. But again, this is what's going on. This is what's going on in New York. Pretty soon you are not going to be able to, and I'm gonna link this in the description. I don't usually do that, but I'm gonna link this video in the description just so you can watch the whole thing. It is 25 minutes. I don't want to go too long in this video, but if you watch this whole video, we ended this video at 6 minutes 2 seconds. If you just pick it up from there, you can catch the rest of it. Ah, man. So sad what's going on in New York, and it's crazy to see that the World Economic Forum's agenda is actually playing out. You always, it's happening in Canada, it's happening in New Zealand, it's happening in Australia. They just actually announced that they're having outbreaks, and they're like going back to masks, and it's just crazy. It's completely unbelievable. But I don't know what's going to happen, but I know it should happen. This should not happen. This should not be happening. The United States of America is the last holdout. And as we see these mayors and these governors, all these politicians who have clearly have sold out, because this stuff doesn't affect them. This affects the guy who works in the factory. This affects you and I. It doesn't affect someone who's a mayor. It doesn't affect someone who's a prime minister. It doesn't affect those people. They're rich. They're going to do what they want. That's why they're still hopping on jets all the time when they go to Davos or when they go anywhere. This affects us. And it's crazy that we have no say in it. Like this gentleman here, Eric Adams, he's just kind of coming in like dad. Oh, well, this is a big contributor and we can't be hypocrites. Like, put it to a vote. Why aren't things like this put to a vote? Let's vote about it. Let's see if this is what people want. And if they don't, you got to leave it alone. Why is it so ingrained that, of course, whoever leads us, we have to vote, and that has to be agreed on. But the decisions that are made for whole states and whole countries, that doesn't have to be voted on. It's absolutely ridiculous. Anyways, guys, this video is running a little long. Other than that, I'm out. And what do you think in the comment section? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Am I overreacting? Is it better to just eat broccoli and just sustain on yeast protein, or whatever they have in store for us? Algae, seaweed, Brussels sprouts, whatever they have in mind. Man. Okay. Other than that, I'm out.